guys feel like that? Have that runny nose, itchy eyes, congestion, sinus pressure, and all that good stuff during the time of year allergy season starts in the early part of spring? I know a lot of you guys did, because I did when we first moved out here about 13 years ago. My husband and I both did. And in case you guys are new around here, my husband and I moved off grid a little over 13 years ago now, and we live without any public utilities. We live off 100% rainwater and grow about 90% of our food, so welcome to you all. And today what I wanted to do is kind of go over two strategies or two things that I implemented, foods basically, into our lives that changed our immune response. So stay tuned. When Doug and I moved out here about 13 years ago, we wanted to become our own healthcare providers. So we wanted to raise our own food, know where everything was coming from to get back our health. And then what happened was we started growing foods, and we were starting to eat, real whole foods, nothing from a box. And over the months and over the years, we started noticing that our health was getting better. We would wake up in the morning with a snotty nose, or during certain times of the year in the fall and spring, you'd have like the sinus problems, and we would have those. But then as the months and years went by, we have nothing. We feel great. And I think it's due towards a lot of the things that we have been eating. And today what I wanted to do is kind of go over two things that you guys could possibly add to your diet, and especially these things that I'm going to tell you about. It's really crucial, if you're not adding them to your diet, to add them a little before maybe you're going to have allergy season, because it's going to help build up your immune system. So the first strategy, or the things that we started incorporating into our daily diets, was something called quercetin. Quercetin. I bet you're wondering what quercetin is. So, we're in the classroom here. Quercetin is basically a compound found in the pigment of plants, and is stimulated by light. So let's say, you have your apple tree and you have the apples in the top of the tree. The apples in the top of the tree are going to get more sunlight, so they're going to probably have more quercetin than the apples in the lower part. So it's usually, you're going to find the bulk of the quercetin in the skin of the plant. So the foods that have quercetin in them are going to have antioxidants, which are like little superheroes run around your body. You want to eat as much antioxidant rich foods as you can, because what these antioxidants do is they fight free radicals. So it's like, oxidative damage, things that you're breathing in, toxins, food that you're putting in your body. So it could cause cell damage. So what this does is it comes in, it helps kind of counteract that. And it also has anti-inflammatory properties, which is all this is wonderful for your immune system, and we all need a good immune system, and that's what's going to help with your allergy response. So now the cool thing about this is research shows now that this compound quercetin can help reduce your histamine levels, and the histamines are what causes your reaction. Your immune system is fighting against when you're breathing like allergens into your mucous membranes, and it's causing that histamine response. So what the quercetin does, it kind of helps to decrease that histamine level and also reduce your inflammation, and because of that, it'll help with allergic reactions and then just allergies overall. So I think that's pretty cool. So I bet you guys are dying to know what foods that you can start incorporating into your diet right now to help with that histamine response, and help with your inflammation, and help with those antioxidants during allergy season. All right, let's get going. I'm going to show you right now. I know your time is precious, so I'm going to go over this list really quick. A lot of these things, you want the red-fleshed vegetables or fruits. So onions are really, really high in quercetin. The quercetin is concentrated in the skin and the very outer layer. I did a video on don't throw away your onion skins. Go and find it, and you watch it, and you can learn what you can do, because you can make a tea out of this, and it's really potent, very wonderful, and it doesn't taste like onions at all. So you won't freak out. You can put other things with it. If you have peppermint or green tea or whatever, you can put it with it, and that way you're going to get the benefits of the quercetin. All right, so red onions are the highest. Yellow onions has quercetin also, but you're going to get more in the red. Okay. Another place you're going to find, higher amounts of quercetin are in some herbs like fennel, dill, and cilantro. I grow tons of herbs here, so if a lot of you guys are first-time gardeners or you don't garden, you can buy them in little pots. You can grow them in a pot, simple and easy, by your window or on your patio. Or, you know, you can go, a lot of the grocery stores, you know, they carry fresh herbs. Add herbs to your foods. Put them in your salads. You can also put them in teas. You can make them into a tea when it's actually fresh, or you can make them into tea when you dry them out. So adding those herbs to your diet would be a wonderful way of adding that quercetin. Next, we have red apples. So it's the red apples. You want to eat the skin on the apples. The skin is very important, so don't peel off the skin. And like I was saying earlier, I think it's so cool that the light will stimulate that. So the apples at the top are going to be the ones that are going to have a little bit more quercetin. And then talking about some fruits, another one would be your red grapes. So adding red grapes into your diet, making sure you're eating the skin on those as well. Here's another one. We have tomatoes. The skin is where you're going to get, you know, the quercetin from. But think about your grape or your cherry tomatoes, because they're going to be smaller and have more skin on them. They're going to have a little bit more quercetin also. This next one is a heavy hitter. It is kale. Kale is a rock star when it comes to nutrition. I mean, it's power packed for lots of different things. These leafy greens are very concentrated and are going to be very, very helpful, but kale is very high in quercetin. So adding that to your diet, you can grow it in the garden. I grow it everywhere. I have it outside my little kitchen garden. I have it out in the garden. I have it everywhere, and I go through tons of kale. There's different varieties, so maybe if you think one might be a little too tough for you, you might want to try a different variety. They have, you know, there's also the red Russian kale that's going to be red, have a little more red pigment, a little bit more anthocyanins. So, you know, maybe try some kale, adding more into your diet. And if you think, like I say, it's a little too tough, you can saute it in butter. Or what I like to do with my kale is I get a scissors and I chop it up and put it in a bowl and have like a chopped salad, and that kind of helps it. Put a little lemon juice on it, and that'll help break down the fibers. And lastly are some of your cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, also the broccoli sprouts. Broccoli sprouts are going to be wonderful. They'll contain a lot of the quercetin also. And then as well as like radishes, the actual leaf of the radish is very, very high in quercetin. Oh, a lot of people don't eat the radish leaves because they're kind of prickly, but actually they're wonderful. I'll cut them up and put them in a salad, or you can saute them and they're just amazing. Or you can add them into your smoothie. So think of ways that you can start adding this type of food into your diet to help get that quercetin. All right, here's our second one. It is nettle, or stinging nettle. It's basically a weed that you find out in the wild. You can, if you guys don't know how to forage or know what it looks like, you can get organic nettle in big bags. You can also get little tea bags, traditional medicinals. You can find it at a lot of the stores. But you can drink it in tea form. They also make it in tinctures and things like that. But I do mine in tea. Nettle is a natural antihistamine. All right? So antihistamines that you buy at the store, let's find out about them. Bad effects of taking antihistamines.
According to Cleveland Clinic, what are the side effects of antihistamines? Drowsiness, dry mouth, dry eyes, blurred or double vision, dizziness and headache, low blood pressure, mucus thickening in the airways, rapid heart rate, and difficulty urinating and constipation.
What did you think about that? So when I try to do things around here, I try to do it as natural as I can. By taking nettle, I feel great, and it really, really does help. Now nettle, like I say, it is a wild plant. If you're interested in finding it yourself, get some books on foraging, and then you can learn what it looks like. You have to be careful because they call it stinging nettle because these are little stingers on the actual stem and under part of the leaf. And research shows that it is incredible to help with the symptoms of the sinus pressure, the running nose, the itchy eyes, the sneezing, and all those things associated with, allergies. So what I like to do is I get my nettle and I get it in my tea ball, or you put it in a diffuser. If you guys, and like I say, if you can also find it with tea bags and order it that way. But then I just stick it in my cup, and I'm going to infuse it with some hot water. Just like that. And then you can have it plain, or you can add, ginger to it. You can add honey or maple syrup or some stevia extract, and it tastes amazing. But like anything else, especially if you're pregnant, just make sure you check with your doctor. And if you're starting anything new, always check with your healthcare professional to find out if this is okay. But this is what worked for Doug and I, and we have been doing it for years, and I have to tell you, we don't have any allergies or anything anymore. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just want people just to start knowing that it's not like this magic, you can take this magic pill and it'll solve all your problems. I mean, it does take a little work, and try to do things a little bit more naturally, that you're not going to have side effects by incorporating these foods into your diet. We've been so used to, over the years, to make things easier for us, to get things out of a box, but then they're high heat treated and they're processed and they have all these fillers and all this, and basically you're eating empty foods and then you're constantly being hungry. So when you're incorporating these real foods and you're adding good fats to them, like you're having avocados or ghee or olive oil, coconut oil, it's really gonna make a tremendous difference in your overall health. So here's my challenge to you guys. Just, you know, start adding some of these things. Maybe if you're not too used to adding some of these foods like the cruciferous vegetables and the kale and the red apples and the onions, they're very powerful foods, and if you start incorporating them, especially in their raw form, in your daily diet, and my way is I make big salads and I throw everything but the kitchen sink in them. And that really does help, and then I'll eat them, and it really helps to add those vitamins into my diet every day. So you guys stay strong, just keep going, and you can do it, and you can get yourself better, and you can get healthier, but it takes, you know, step by step, and you'll get there. All right, leave a comment below if you're gonna try some of these things, and I'll talk to you real soon. See you later. Did you guys know that in the 16, 17, and 1800s, chocolate was consumed as a beverage? There was no such thing as a chocolate candy bar. Well, we're bringing chocolate tea back to the 21st century because it's loaded with antioxidants our body loves, and it's a great source of magnesium that's wonderful for bone and heart health. It's a great addition to your coffee machine or your French press, or just along with your favorite sweetener. You can find it at offgridwithdouganstacy.com, along with our brand new tea infuser, simple to use for easy steeping. Cheers!